Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Writes. This is number 36, probably. If it isn't, you know the drill. All right, so we're working on this. Finara is about to undergo the medical inspection. Cleared it through. All right, so the doctor's going to come in. What is it? What is it now? I'm in. Over. What is it now? He asked. Thick featured. Rough of cheek. The only way was seemed doctor was by the I want something that rhymes with cheek. That's the artist in me. Cheek, meek, eep, steek, fleek. Yes, all of these are made up words. Was by his white jacket, silver fleek. Ha, there we go. Thick featured and rough cheek. And silver necktie fleek. Well, what is it now? Never seen me before. You've never seen me before. Finara, noted. Lathy hadn't left the sheet to say more. Say more. Or anything, really. I don't know you. Dr. Managinensen, he said, slurring his own name a little. You drunk? You drunk? Finara asked. Not at all. It's barely noon. Managinensen's. Little joke. And thank you for attention to my speech impediment. Oh, this was going to go lovely. It's going to go lovely. Look at my leg. I want you to look at my leg. Nothing? Do you need to be here for this? It's kind of personal. Nathy shrugged. If you feel safe with him. No, but I'll be alright. He's a professional. Right? said, and then went to the doctor. Yep, that's me. Professional corporate doctor. And she's right. Some things are private. All right. Not it. We'll catch back up later, she said, and left. She was gone. Finara presented her leg, her flesh leg, her real leg. I've got bruising. I've got bruising from a mechanical problem. It's really painful. It's really painful. Deep. Oh, is that it? The guards seemed to was worth disturbing during my lunch. You know how they are. You know how they are. Finara. And a slim smile. I do, and recently, the doctor replied. A few minutes and one prescription painkiller later, Finara walked out of the doctor's office. Other than an admonition, to take for a few days, the doctor hadn't given her any orders or limitations. Which meant she went back to work and fiddled and whiled away, and the remaining hours shift in relative quiet. All the while, she was thinking of what came next. The rebels wouldn't get their data if they wanted. Wouldn't get the data they wanted. And she'd have to convince them that what she had was better. In her mind, she wrote out a missive several times, but of course couldn't commit anything to a datapad. That'd be like using her own thumbprint on to unseal records. At last, the chrono hit, and she headed out. Hit the big 5. She headed out. Security was the last step. And with Lathy fully in the know, it would be... Lathy wasn't there. It was a different shift. It was a different shift entirely. It was a different shift entirely. What's going on? Finara, one of our colleagues, as they queued up. That's not how you spell queued. Don't care. As they queued up to exit. Some sort of review. They pulled in the replacement shift an hour early. They pulled. Oh. And I said. Fell silent. Okay, so some sort of review. We don't know what's going on. What I'm going to guess is that somebody knows that there's been a data breach. At least somebody's logged the fact that she's logged something and that there's an issue. So there's an issue, but it's not going to matter. Scans came and went. Then what's her turn? She walked right up to the a dark-haired fellow. Dark-haired fellow. Whose jaw was crooked from some recent break. I'm on file as a special. Finara said and presented her ID. Did Lathy leave a note about me? Let me check. Security, Darren said. Tapped a few buttons. Yeah. You've got a data stick. We need to confiscate it. It's what's keeping my. We need to confiscate it. Finara blinked. But that data stick is connected to my leg. Right, the cybernetic leg that's been acting up. Put you into a session with the doc, and I'll have to confiscate it. But no, confiscation. Mandatory. I'll be limping out of here. I'll be limping out of here. Confiscation. My leg. The man said, and summoned his security detail over. Security members over. Now. A groan. And reached into her pant leg. Fumbled for a data stick. And heard and felt the leg lock up, and she removed it. As she reached into it. Yeah, that's more concurrent. Again, this is first draft stuff, so the second draft you're going to smooth a lot of things out. Right now we're just getting ideas down onto the page and, working from there. And click, and felt she removed it. Go ahead, scan it. Confiscated. The sergeant said, and snatched from her grasp. Scanner. Scanner. Finara limped over to the scanner as best she could. The leg had gone into, what is that called? Into a passive state. Her leg behind her. Dragging her metal leg behind her. The scan was the scan, and showed her leg as it always was. She left the other side, cast one last look back at the sergeant as he took the stick away. Her fellows gave her a hand getting out the door. Carrying her partway until they reached a bench. Sit me down here, Finara said. I'll try a restart, and maybe it'll take. Didn't sound like it would. One of her fellows said. Dimitra, who worked on speeder bikes for scouts. She loved racing them. Didn't sound like it would. Data stick? With that data stick. I might be able to restore minimal. I might be able. Said. It'll take a while. Go on. You've had a long day. Day 2. One by one, she cajoled them to leave her be. By one, they departed. Good men and women. Good men and women. Being out for of their own. The Empire's a testament to the Empire. To the Empire. A testament to the Empire. She has to still find some good in the Empire before she realizes her error. They were gone. Powered her leg back up, restored basic function, and made sure to limp her way out so as not to draw suspicion. As it turned out, the leg's internal drive had plenty of room for movement programs and other things. The data is safe inside her. Now she just had to worry about everything else. Okay, so that's a chapter. Now let's a positive note, and on the thriller, we're chapter, I don't know what chapter it is. We'll deal with the chapter labels when the time comes. Again, you can move things around. It doesn't matter what chapter it is. I could do this as one flow of text. I just like breaking up into chapters where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I want a chapter there. I'm pretty sure I want to leave them on a high note before we head into the skullduggery, which she will have to confront. Because, well, there you are. Oh, shit. Everything else that wasn't engineering. Because these are the things that she's not good at. She is a very good engineer. She's very good, and that's gotten her through this. But now she has to worry about everything else. Excuse my yawn. Okay. She sent the message, but gave no data. That she'd keep to herself for now. Instead, she promised a great deal and demanded a meeting place. The Knoxwell Trench would have been nice, but she knew it was under surveillance. That meant most places likely were. This was not her. She didn't know a place aside from back alleys she'd rather avoid, where they might meet unseen. So she let them pick the venue. There were issues with that. Of course. But I mean, theoretically, they could do her apartment because obviously the rebels had used that. She wasn't under direct surveillance. Which is obvious. But that couldn't be helped. Okay, let's go to something fun. So instead, she worked on her leg via a private kiosk, but attached no data. Okay. She went on to her medical appointment, let the droids do what they needed to for her leg. Instead, she bought another data stick, dumped what she needed into it, then went on to her medical appointment. The clinic did what they needed to do for her leg in their usual efficient manner. As she suspected, there wasn't much to it. Oh, a few sub-circuits had been fried, but those were easy to replace, and she was back up and walking right in less than an hour. By the time she returned to the kiosk and checked her messages, one was waiting for her. Appropriately, they'd chosen a nearby scrapyard for the meeting. And we'll have to figure out the yard. Lots of noise. They'll white out. And movement. People of all kinds coming and going, buying parts, etc. Finara doesn't stand out too much. Once she removes her corporate coat and lets her hair flow. So she can blend in a little. It's not great, but it's not bad. All right, meet the rebels, check for tails, then dish the goods. We're very close to ending this. 2, maybe 3 episodes, I imagine. Another hour of work, tops. And you might be asking yourself, does it really go that fast? It can. For the first draft, it's almost all ideas. And the way I usually do this is it's idea to structure, structure to artistry, artistry to grammar, essentially, to clean up, to polishing. So first you have the idea, and then you have to get into a structure, and that's pretty much what we're doing here. I have the idea, and now I'm throwing it up into sort of a loose structure, and we're seeing what works. When we get to the artistry, we'll make it all sound interesting and fun and lively and thrilling. And then finally, when we have all of that, we'll go through for grammar to cleanse things up, to make it fully palatable, so that there's no obvious errors or subtle errors, and everything fits into place. I haven't screwed up names or anything else. Things like that. That's the usual course of things. But that will end this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. This is Ben Allen Writes The Winter of Truth. We're coming up on the close of it. And we're going to see whether or not Finara can make it stick. I know she can make it stick. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a sequel. It would be a tragedy now to, the rebels decide to shoot her and hide the body. Well, there you go. Have fun. How thrilling was that? Somebody would probably beat me for that. The only worst sin, of course, is ending a book on a pun. Don't do it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good time and stay safe out there. Thanks.